Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your Martin Luther King Day Monday slate of games. We got 10 NHL games for today, and I did not expect this big a crowd. We got some early games, so I hope everybody's ready to get some winners in the NHL. Of course, all we ask of you guys, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Put in the comments what you like. You guys asked for it, and we're delivering. You guys said you want us to continue to do the NHL rundown every day, and that's the official title we're giving this now, the NHL rundown. So make sure you put in the comments what you like, or tell us what else you like. Also, don't forget, if you want to get on our top plays today, we both are going to have top plays in the NBA, and we got a special for you, 2 for 1. You get a week pass for just $99. So you'll get today's 2 top plays plus 6 more days of our NBA winners for each of us for just $99. DocSports.com/Craig Arun. You will not find this on the website. You have to type this in to get it. You can also click the link in the description. Okay, first game on the board, Buffalo, red hot Buffalo at Carolina here. Carolina's a big favorite. I see minus 192, total 6.5. What do you like?
Buffalo won 4-1 last time out, and Carolina won 63 prior to that. So rubber game between these two teams here. Carolina, of course, wants that revenge. Buffalo lost 4-5 as a minus 120 chalk, and it's been a while since Buffalo's lost back-to-back games, right? They have won 7 of their last 10. You have to go back all the way to early December before they lost back-to-back games. So then you have to ask yourself, how does Buffalo respond after a loss? Typically, they respond well offensively, right? They lost 1-5 to Columbus, won 5-3 against Vancouver, lost 3-4 to Florida, won 5-2 against Philadelphia. So you got to look at possibly a Buffalo over here coming off of a loss, and they could be an active dog. Carolina comes off a nice win against Jersey, 4-1 and 9-1. How does Carolina bounce back after a loss? Well, Carolina's a pretty darn good defensive team, giving up 3-1-1. And the last time they faced this team, they ended up losing 4-1. And giving up 4 goals to a team is a lot for Carolina. I hate to go against Buffalo coming off of a loss. Notice that this game is sitting at 6.5 as well, which surprised me a little bit. But simple, I'm going to take Carolina on the puck line against Buffalo. Greg, Washington against Colorado. Washington coming in as a plus 183 dog. Colorado minus 211 favorite. Look at that juice space in between. Colorado won 2-1 back in 2024, so there's no recent meeting between these two teams. Washington off back-to-back losses to Florida and to San Jose. They were favorites in both those games. Colorado comes into this contest losing as a minus 315 chalk to Nashville and as a minus 215 chalk to Toronto. Both teams irritated. Total sits at 6.5. Who do you like?
I think we called both of those, actually. I think we took her on the plus. We took the plus 1.5, but still.
We're the best kept hockey, man.
I think Colorado was going through these are long seasons, NBA and NHL as well. Like, they're just so long that I don't care how great you are, how great Oklahoma City Thunder is, how great this Colorado team is. They're the best teams in the league, and it's not close. But it won't be in a 5 or 6 game stretch that you don't struggle. They've lost 4 of their last 6 games, and now you got to lay this kind of price. I know Washington isn't playing great either. But give me Washington plus the 1.5. You're going to get up to play the best teams. And I do think Washington, they're proud. And it wasn't too long ago they were the champs. And I think Washington goes in here and said, hey, let's give it all we have. Of those last 6 games, I believe they haven't covered the plus 1.5, but one time. Give me Washington plus the 1.5. Next game, Pittsburgh at Seattle. Pittsburgh's favorite, minus 118, total 5.5 here. Pittsburgh's been playing much better. I did not see this coming, to be very honest. I thought Pittsburgh would have a rough year. But, I mean, of their last 10 games, they're 6-2-2. Now, they've lost 2 shootouts in their last 3, so they are 1-4 in their last 5 games, but they've lost by 1. 4 of those losses, every loss, in fact, was by 1. So they've been playing better. What do you like here?
Yeah, look, Seattle beat them 3-2 in overtime back on November 22nd. And Seattle's beat them the last 4 times. But Pittsburgh's playing much better than they were back in November. I mean, they beat Carolina, they beat Detroit, and they beat Detroit again, even though Detroit had revenge. They beat Columbus, they beat New Jersey. So, they went through a tough stretch here with Calgary, Boston, and Tampa Bay, and then they beat Philly. They're coming off a tough loss against Columbus in a game where Columbus had revenge, right? And this team was up early, and then they ended up losing, and Pittsburgh actually outshot them in that game. Seattle comes off a bad loss where they gave up 6 goals to Utah and 4 to Boston in their last 3, and they lost to New Jersey as well. But, man, I got to tell you, the Seattle struggled against Pittsburgh last time out. They're going to really struggle against them this time out. They're playing much better, and they come off a loss. Give me the Penguins here to get it done. Craig, San Jose plus 163 dog against Florida. San Jose coming off they beat this team 3-1 last time out, but Florida had to beat them the previous 9 times. But Florida looking for a little revenge here. San Jose coming off that loss to Detroit 2-4 is a plus 140 dog. Keep in mind that San Jose has not lost back-to-back games, and it's really impressive to not lose back-to-back games for a while since December 2023. It shows consistency. It's their bounce-back potential, something that we keep track on my algorithms here. Florida winning against Washington 5-2 is a plus 134 dog. Who do you like here? Do you think Florida gets their revenge? Do you think San Jose bounces back? Total is at 6.5. Who do you like?
The side scares me. San Jose's been actually good for bettors all year long. One of the actually most profitable, if you just bet them every game, $100 because they're almost always underdogs. And the way they've played and in these huge upsets, I mean, by far one of the more profitable teams. Florida actually a little disappointing, even though a plus team in the league, is because they're, you win back-to-back championships. Everybody wants to bet the champs, and they're always going to be favored. So if I was going to play this, I would play San Jose or the plus 1.5 with San Jose, but I think you take the total. The last 2 games have been under for San Jose. Before that, 8 straight overs. Florida's been scoring a bunch lately. I think they're going to get us probably 5 or 6 themselves, and I think San Jose will probably score right with them. I was thinking like 5-4 game. I think really high scoring. Take the over. Stay away from the side, I think, in this one. Next game, Minnesota at Toronto. Toronto's favorite minus 123. Total 6. Toronto 7-1-2 in their last 10 games. Minnesota's really been struggling. Just 4-3-3 in their last 10 games, including lost 3 of their last 4 games, even though they did win at Buffalo last time out. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to have a situation where you have – let me pull up something that I like here. Yeah, so Minnesota plus 109 dog, Toronto minus 123. Roughly similar records. Minnesota won 3-1 last year. They haven't met this year so far. Minnesota's beaten this team the last 2 times. Not a lot of people have faith in Toronto here, but Minnesota comes off a nice win against Buffalo. But Minnesota is not like, I wouldn't call them the hallmark of consistency. They haven't won back-to-back games since December 27th, 29th. Each time they won a game, like Anaheim, they lost to LA, or Seattle, and they lost to the Islanders. And now they beat Buffalo on the road. Toronto, of course, comes off a nice win against Winnipeg, winning as a plus 128 dog. I thought they were great against Colorado, Vancouver, and Philly, and Florida. And then they beat Winnipeg twice recently. So, I'm not going to try to complicate this too much. I'm going to take Toronto here. I think they're playing really well right now. I know people don't have as much faith in them, but I like Toronto to get it done here. Philly, plus 177 dog against Vegas, Craig. Vegas won 3-2 back on December the 11th. Philadelphia has lost 5 straight, actually 6 straight in a row. Vegas has now won 7 straight in a row, including beating Nashville 7-2 and Toronto 6-5. Who do you like here?
Well, I made a lot of money betting against Vegas when they were having those month-long struggles. I've bet them a couple times, trickled in when we've done these videos here the last few times, and I've been wrong. I thought maybe they couldn't sustain this. I'm going to change my tune. I think Vegas has finally figured things out. It looks like it on the ice. I think Philly, I actually think, struggling right now. So now it's all about finding value. Would you lay minus 203 where I see it right now, Vegas? No. But I would take them in regulation. I don't like the minus 1.5. I'll take them in regulation. Now you get them at like minus 140. Now that's bettable for me. Let's take in regulation Vegas to win here on Martin Luther King Day. Now, next game, Winnipeg at Chicago. Winnipeg's minus 136, total 6. Chicago team, I like playing as underdogs, especially at home. That's the case here. Could I convince you to do that, Icy?
Can you convince me to take Chicago as a home dog? Well, I'll let you know in about 30 seconds. You get Winnipeg because I got to talk it out like a lunatic. Winnipeg won 6-3 back on October 30th. They won 6 in a row, right? So I understand that Chicago has the revenge. That total was set at 5.5, and it went to 6-3. So a lot of goals scored. Winnipeg coming off a loss to Toronto 3-4. And how does Winnipeg bounce back? Offense, right? They lost 3-4 to Edmonton. They put up 5 on LA the next game. They put up 5-4, 5-6 in the last 4 games, and they only put up 3 goals against Toronto. And it was a game where Toronto outshot them 37-30. So then Chicago rolls in here, losing 2-5, 1-3, and 1-4. They've lost their last 3. Got to get their frustration out here. They've given up, 12 goals in their last 3 games as well. So what happens here? Well, yeah, I think Chicago's going to bounce back offensively. I wanted to see this total come out pretty high. It didn't come out as high as I'd liked it to, though. It only came out at 6. But Chicago has lost 3 in a row. They got to bounce back. They did beat Nashville, right? 3-0. They were a size dog there. They beat Vegas 3-2. They beat Dallas and Washington, but I just don't like the fact that Winnipeg comes off of a loss either. This game can go either way. But I like Chicago plus the 120, and I also like the over in this contest. But if I had to pick something here, I would probably pick. I can't pick the over because Chicago gave up 6 goals this season last time. You can take for a small unit value. You can take Chicago plus the 1.5. I think that's not a decent. I think that could be a decent value there. You're getting 1.5 on 6, which is 25% of the value. Small lean on Chicago. Small lean on Chicago plus the 1.5. Nothing big. Craig, New Jersey here minus 123 favorite against Calgary. New Jersey. These two teams have not played this year. Calgary's won 3 in a row between these two teams. New Jersey lost 1-4 to Carolina. Calgary lost back-to-back games to the Island. Or I'm sorry, they won back-to-back games against the Islanders and Chicago. The question is, do you trust Calgary to win a rare 3 in a row, where they did that at the end of December? Who do you like here?
A lot of time we're betting numbers. As a handicapper, it's like, okay, what's the number? Especially in moneyline sports. What does that mean? That means, like, if me and IC, we might see this differently than the book does. I think this should be a pick'em game, minus 110 for Calgary. Instead, we're getting them at plus 110. That's a pretty big edge. If you can bet those types of spreads long-term in moneyline sports and you hit it just 50%, that is a ridiculous payback on your money. I think that's similar to the case here. I think this is basically a pick'em game. The odds say otherwise. I'm taking the home dog here, plus 110. They're a much different team at home. They've been playing a little better lately. In New Jersey, I just don't think it's that great, to be honest. I don't think they should be favored. Give me the underdog here. Next game, Islanders at the Canucks. Islanders, big favorite here, minus 141, total 6. I know Vancouver's hasn't won a game in 10 games. There's 0-8-2. They're going to win one of these, I see. So how do we find value in this game?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they won't win another one in 2026. I really don't know. I mean, nothing surprises me anymore. I never thought everybody would be wearing masks, and then here comes COVID. Nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, heck, we might be invading Greenland, not being political. I'm just saying nothing surprises me anymore. So Vancouver won 4-1 back on December the 19th. Vancouver's won back-to-back games. The Islanders coming into this contest losing to Calgary 2-4 as a plus 100 dog. So you do get the Islanders off of a loss. So if you're favoring the Islanders, not a bad take there. I get it. And the Islanders outshot them 30-19, and they still lost that game. Vancouver lost 0-6 against Edmonton, and I don't think people mind if Vancouver loses. The problem is they can't score. They scored 0 goals against Edmonton, 1 against Columbus, 1 against Ottawa, 0 against Toronto, 1 against Detroit. I mean, their last 5 of 6 games, they've put up 1 goal or less. That's not good. This total, and the funny thing is, every time it gets totaled at 6.5, they get totaled at 6.5 the last 4 out of 5 games, and this one gets totaled at 6. Look, man, I can't take Vancouver right now. I got to go with the Islanders here. The fact that Vancouver can't score, the Islanders are off of a loss, and they outshot them 30-20 the last game too, and they still lost to Calgary. Give me Islanders minus the 141. All right, Craig, New York here, plus 121 dog against Anaheim minus the 136. Anaheim winning 4-1 last contest, and they won the time before too last year. So New York coming in a little bit with a double revenge here. Anaheim comes into this contest, of course, winning 3 straight in a row. Impressive wins against Dallas and beating LA twice. That's not easy to do. Rangers coming off a nice win against Philadelphia, 6-3, but the Rangers have not won back-to-back games. They've only won 2 out of the last 10, and they haven't won back-to-back games since December 18th to 20th. Who do you like here as Anaheim comes in as a minus 136 favorite, total 6.5?
This is a game where I think you play a correlated parlay type game. If you like the Rangers to win, you got to think it's high scoring because that's how usually their games end up, that they win. If you like Anaheim, just like the last 3 games, you think they're probably going to be a little lower scoring, and you take Anaheim. Of the two, I know Rangers are better on the road than they were at home, which is crazy by a lot. But they just haven't been great lately. And even if they did win last time out, I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take the favorite Anaheim. You parlay them together. Not crazy, but I just think this is one of those games that if I'm right once, I feel like I'm going to be right on both. All right, now, talk about being right on both. How about we both get us a winner home for you tonight? Usually it's $99 per sport per week. You can get a 2-for-1 week pass, just $99. Go over and get the NBA pass tonight. We're both going to have top plays in the NBA. You get today's top plays plus 6 more days from both of us. DocSports.com/Craig Arun. We'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget, put in the comments what you like here in Hockey Today.